Rocha UK is one of 3 focus missions for St. Luke's Gift Day 2025. Rocha UK, like Genesis Trust and Ripple Effect, have been part of my life over the last 20, 30 years. And I know them fairly intimately, so hopefully you'll get a sense of that as I talk about Rocha. I want to talk a little about its history and where it is now, what we do with them and what it's for. Firstly, though, I think we have to address the name, Rocha. If I could go back in time, I might be encouraging a different name because nobody knows what it means. But what it means is the rock in Portuguese. And that gives a hint of the history because Rocha's first project, which is still going on, it was in Portugal, in the Algarve, Cruzinho. And it was started by a cleric and his wife from Liverpool, Peter and Miranda. And from that has grown something that now works in maybe 30 countries around the world. The beginning was a conservation project. And nature conservation remains at the heart of what Rocha does and probably makes it different to many other organisations who have, for example, a bigger focus on climate change. But of course, you can't disentangle these things. They're all really the same. Rocha UK began all those years ago as a conservation project in West London. Dave Buckless, who started Rocha UK, decided we'd make it difficult for ourselves, that we would have an urban project, whereas all the previous ones had been rural in what you might call proper nature. But what Dave and the team decided to do was help the council of Southall and Hayes in West London to redevelop a piece of land that was just rotting, frankly, alongside the banks of the River Thames. And that became a really significant public park that has space for nature alongside space for people's recreation and well-being. Now, since that project finished, we've moved on. And the Rocha UK now really has a number of different aims, one of which remains direct conservation. And there are 2 projects, a little urban project in West London and a rural project along in the wetlands of sort of Essex and Sussex. And that's called Fox Earth and focuses on things like damselflies and dragonflies. But it does that now really as a way of demonstrating Christian conservation to encourage others. And there are many Christian landowners, the Church of England being one, that own significant tracts of land. And we encourage these landowners to talk to each other, to learn from each other, and think about their stewarding for nature as well as for people and for profit. So that's one stream, Christian landowners to make good use of the land for people, for planet. Another is to work with households and individuals and just help people, give them tips and hints, and that's called Wild Christian. And then the one that's probably most well known is Eco Church. St. Luke's is an eco church. We joined a number of years ago. We're on the pathway between bronze and silver, a journey that's going to be because it's quite hard. We have a bronze award. There are hundreds, indeed thousands of churches signed up to Eco Church, and that's an amazing tool to help you think through what you can do. My, if you like, heart for Genesis for Rocha is 4 words: care, balance, hope, and worship. And hopefully that'll enable you to give a sense of the heart of Rocha, not just what they do. Care, of course. Care for the environment, care for the planet, care for habitats, care for people, because this really matters. Secondly, balance. The aim is to live in balance with nature. The aim is not to create separation. The aim is that people and the rest of creation of which we are a part are able to live sensitively and in balance. That's really what it's all about. Hope. It's easy to be hopeless. in these times, isn't it? It's easy to look and say, well, what can I do? What's this all about? This is all going badly wrong. All of the targets behind the COP meetings have been broken, and they're clearly going to be miles off. What can we do? It's terrible. It's all going to burn. Well, whatever. Our responsibility as Christians, with God on our side, is to not despair and to remember that hope is an important part of the gospel. Hope is something that, it's an amazing gift. And even when we don't feel hopeful, that hope is still there. And that's part of what Russia are trying to do, to remind us as Christians, as churches, that that's the case. And then finally, worship. If you ask Peter and Miranda, sadly, Miranda is no longer with us. Some of you will remember the truly awful events that cost Amanda and Chris and Susanna their lives. But if you had asked them, what's this really all about? The answer would be worship. Because our getting our hands dirty, our putting our hands in our pockets, our serving in and around the church and working with the community is worship. It's showing God that all of this, it's worth it. He is worth it. And that is what we're doing. So every time somebody rescues one species, it's saying it is worth it. Even when they just pick up a bit of litter off the beach, it is worth it. God's creation is worth it. And we worship him by showing that we value that. So please do be generous. I am pleased to have been part of Rocha's life for decades now, and I hope you will feel that this is something that's worthy of your support this gift day. Thank you very much.